and groups came together because Williams says they have everything to lose. Williams says part of that clear message has to do with protecting immigrants, civil rights, and health care. She also says that the amount of people taking part in the protest shows just how many people are upset with the way the country is being run, and they want to stand up and fight back.
They're not following the Constitution. They don't care about due process. Are we American or are we not? Because that's what this rally is about. If you're American, you have to believe in being American, but they can't keep doing all this stuff and then calling it American when it has nothing to do with the ideals of this country. You got all of these different groups that are all just trying to protect each other for once, because we're all on the same side. And they've made it very clear that we're all on the same team. It is us versus them, and we have to be there for each other. We have to unify to protect each other because they're not going to do it.
Almost everyone out at the protest was holding some sort of sign or flag. Some of them said pro-America, anti-Trump, and others said no kings. Again, I did speak to a few people participating in the protest. Coming up later this evening, I'll share more on what they had to say. Reporting live in Memphis, Michaela Redmond, Action News 5.
All right, Michaela, thank you. That wasn't the only protest to happen today. Organizers say more than 2,000 anti-Trump protests are happening across the country. The protests are also a response to the military parade President Donald Trump is holding in Washington, D.C. tonight. The Trump administration saying it is to celebrate the U.S. Army, but it is also the president's 79th birthday. No Kings rally organizer Lynn Chain says the protests are in opposition to Trump's actions since he was elected.
This truly is a No Kings protest because we have a king and he has a parade, a military parade. That's not done here in this country. It's a combination of probably 50 things. I would say it's everything from the horrible ICE raids to the economy that was supposed to be better.
Now, Republican State Representative Jody Barrett says he hopes everyone who takes part in this protest will remain peaceful, no matter which side of the aisle they fall on. But he is concerned about how things could play out.
As we just experienced in Los Angeles and what's been going on, even up in Chicago and in New York, that unfortunately, I'm afraid we're all kind of fearing the worst right now.
Make sure you follow us both on air and online at actionnews5.com for the latest updates on the nationwide protests. Well, it's been a wet and muggy day for us across the Mid-South, but how long will we have to endure this weather? Maybe a few more months. Let's check in now with Action News 5 Chief Meteorologist Ron Childers with more. Hey, Ron.
We still got a little way to go, Kelly, but I tell you what, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's a blazing hot light. I'll talk more about that in a moment. In the meantime, let's talk about what's going on right now. We've got clouds out there as we overlook the Mississippi River from our Best Care Home Services camera. Dry in the city right now, but dreary pattern remains in place. We had some heavy rain this morning and a few lingering showers in the area right now. And yeah, we can expect more rain with this pattern. Currently, we've got some strong storms that are making their way into Alabama right around Tupelo, but this activity exiting the Action News 5 coverage area. I'm watching a few downpours that are just to our south and west coming into Lee and Phillips counties right now. Not severe, but some thunder, some lightning in there. We have had a lot of rain. These areas in purple, anywhere from 4 to as much as 6 inches of rainfall. It's all being driven by a big area of low pressure that's drawing moisture in from the south and then bringing in a disturbance from the west. Now, right now, we've got mostly cloudy sky. It's 84. We hit 85. We've had over an inch of rain in Memphis, but the rain chance remains as we get into the evening and overnight. It's slight, but I'll tell you when more rain will likely move in on my first alert forecast.
Developing tonight, a Memphis police officer is recovering after being hit by a vehicle during a late-night encounter in East Memphis. Just before 10 last night, officers spotted a suspicious Nissan Armada near Park and Grant. Police say as they approached on foot, the driver hit one officer, believed to be intentional. Another officer fired, hitting the driver. The Armada fled and crashed into another vehicle. The officer was taken to Regional 1 in non-critical condition. The suspect is in critical. The second driver was treated and released. TBI is investigating. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. Memphis police are also investigating a deadly hit and run that took place early this morning. Officers say a pedestrian was hit at Park and Get Well just after 5 a.m. Police found a man at the scene and was pronounced dead. MPD says that a silver SUV is responsible. No arrests have been made, but if you know anything, call Crime Stoppers at 901-528-CASH. Also developing tonight, Memphis police are searching for 2 suspects accused of stealing a victim's credit card. Police say around 7:15 p.m. on May 1st, officers came to a credit card fraud call that occurred on East Shelby Drive. The suspects on your screen allegedly used the victim's credit card at several businesses, including a gas station and a McDonald's in Memphis. So far, no arrests have been made. Again, call Crime Stoppers if you know anything, 901-528-CASH. Well, just days before sentencing, the federal judge overseeing the Tyree Nichols case has recused himself with no explanation. Judge Mark Norris stepped down as the 5 former Memphis officers were set to be sentenced starting June 16th. That's Monday. New court filings show dates are being shifted again. Desmond Mills' sentencing now moved to June 23rd. Justin Smith's attorney, Martin Zumock, expressed frustration over the late shakeup. Court documents also reveal several sealed filings, raising concerns about transparency.
My client has been vilified for 2.5 years, and he's been put on trial twice, right there in the public. So you can imagine my dislike of secret hearings, secret documents.
Chief Judge Cheryl Lippman will now handle sentencing for the former officers. Smith and Bean face up to 20 years for obstruction. Haley faces 60 years for multiple convictions, including civil rights violations. Mills Jr. and Martin both pleaded guilty. Prosecutors are recommending 15 years for Mills and 40 for Martin.
Scattered downpours and a couple of thunderstorms in the area right now. I've got your first alert to what's coming next and what this means for the next half of your weekend and my first alert forecast.
But first, as many of us get ready to celebrate the dads in our lives, it's important to check up on his health. We'll give you the top 5 tips to keep your father happy and healthy. All right, don't forget to celebrate your father or father figure in your life this weekend. Sunday is Father's Day and a perfect time to urge your favorite guy to extend his life. Mandy Gaither has 5 top health tips for men.
It's not always on top of the priority list. Fathers and father figures may need a push to focus on their health.
Men in society are expected to be the leaders of their family units, to be strong, not to complain, endure pain, work through it.
Dr. Edward Cartman with El Camino Health in California says stress can take a toll, but there are 5 tips men can use to optimize their health. First, get regular checkups and get screened at each stage of life.
So in their 20s and 30s, be screening for testicular cancers. When they get into their 40s and 50s, start looking at heart disease, and 60s and 70s, looking at cancer risks and screenings.
Next, find ways to manage stress. Cartman says regular exercise is a perfect stress reliever, and it can also help with the third goal, maintaining a healthy body weight. That can help lower risk of heart disease, diabetes, joint pain, sleep apnea, and more. Fourth, prioritize getting good quality sleep, a key component for both mental and physical health. And finally, Cartman says to make sure your testosterone levels are balanced.
It's an equivalent hormone to estrogen in women. It plays a lot of similar vital roles in terms of bone health, energy, mood, muscle health, just a variety of things. There's studies now coming out showing that a healthy testosterone level is related with a longer lifespan.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Cartman says testosterone can play into longevity by keeping people moving as they age and preventing falls and fractures. So that continuing an exercise program is possible. We've got much more coming up right after the break.
This broadcast is sponsored by Best Care Plumbing, Heating, and Air. When it comes to your comfort, you deserve the best. You're watching Action News 5 at 6.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz says the Democratic Party does not need to pick one lane in order to win future elections. Walz believes the party can focus both on social issues and economic policies to improve voters' lives. Tim Walz says it's okay for the Democratic Party to criticize Donald Trump, but there needs to be a larger strategy.
That's all fine and dandy, but people voted for that. Now, how do we and what are we not doing why they didn't vote for us?
The Democrat weighed in on the debate about whether the party needs to focus less on social issues and more on kitchen table issues.
I don't think we choose between our core values, compassion, kindness, everybody being included, and highlighting that cutting Social Security is ridiculous, Medicaid's ridiculous, and here's the outcome.
Walz says the party does not want to be seen as anti-wealth outside of targeting billionaires, and they need to show working-class voters the Democratic Party has something to offer.
We have got to make it clear, like when I was growing up, you knew this. Democratic Party, oh yeah, they're the labor folks and the workers. Republican Party, they're the country club and the business owners.
Walz says it's important for the party to project strength and stand up to Donald Trump when Democratic values seem challenged.
We have to buckle up a bit, but look, I'm seeing it across the country. People are buckling up, and leaders, seeing Governor Newsom stand up is really, I think, hopeful.
Walz was in town to answer questions from Congress about Minnesota's immigration policy. In Washington, I'm Brendan Cullerton.
Hurricane forecasters won't have a valuable tool for this hurricane season. For nearly 5 years, NOAA has been able to send a fleet of drone vessels into severe weather to gather information. But a NOAA spokesperson said Saildrone was not able to bid on a contract for this season. An anonymous NOAA source said that was because an agency request for a proposal came too late and was a matter of timing. NOAA has been one of the many government agencies over the past few months targeted by the Trump administration for deep cuts to funding and staff. All right, and are we in hurricane season?
Hurricane season started on June 1.
June 1, that's it.
The end of November, and right now it's been all quiet.
Good deal.
News there, but the pattern here in the Mid-South is just relentless.
It is.
We have had week after week of just rainy, stormy weather.
I can't repeat.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let me give you your first alert to what's going on right now. We're still watching a couple of areas. We got moisture that's streaming north out of central Mississippi, but another upper level disturbance that's diving east-southeast coming in out of Arkansas. And all this trying to converge on the mid-south, but a little drier air also trying to filter in from the northwest. So a lot going on in the area, but the heavier rain right now well to our south, mainly along the 278 corridor from Panola County along and east of 55 and into the Tupelo area in northern Alabama. Much of the Action News 5 coverage area, though, pretty much rain-free. And these showers coming in out of Arkansas, weakening as they move in our direction. It's all being driven by a cold front that's just going to kind of slowly linger over the area. Now, tomorrow, we're going to be on the back side of that front. Still a chance of rain, but a little drier air will come in behind it. So it's not going to be a washout, but this front's still going to be in close proximity again on Monday. That's going to keep a rain chance in the mix. And as a matter of fact, scattered showers likely Sunday, Monday. A little drier pattern, but I can't rule out a stray shower for Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll see scattered showers coming back Thursday. And then we start to dry out by the end of next week. But over the next 7 days, it's also going to be very muggy. And with the drier pattern coming into play by the end of next week and the start to next weekend, it's going to get humid too. As a matter of fact, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 80s on Sunday, mid 80s Monday, the average 89. We'll hit it on Tuesday and then 90 Wednesday. And look at this, by Friday and Saturday, we're talking low 90s and feeling even hotter. That's why I want you to get the Action News 5 First Alert Weather app. Scan the QR code. It's going to take you to your app store. You can download it now. It's free for Apple and Android products. And with this active pattern still in place, the interactive radar is very handy. But as the week progresses, keeping up with those temperatures and what it feels like, you're going to need that app for that. Right now, it just kind of feels muggy. Temperatures range from the upper 70s in Brownsville and Bolivar to low to mid 80s elsewhere. We're at 84 in Memphis. From now until about 10 o'clock tonight, most of the shower activity diminishing. I can't rule out a stray shower overnight, but I think our rain chances are on the slim side. It's tomorrow morning at 8. We're likely going to see more scattered downpours in the area. Now, it's not going to wash out the day. As we get into the afternoon, again, a little bit of a lull, very similar to today. We had the early morning showers, a lull in the afternoon, but from 2 until 7, there's still the possibility for a few hit or miss downpours in the area. But notice, isolated to widely scattered. So if you've got plans with Dad tomorrow, it's not going to be a washout, but late tomorrow night, we could see a heavy downpour coming through parts of the area. In the meantime, we'll fall to 72 tonight. Your rain chance 20%. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and muggy, and there could be a little fog in the area too. Now, 20% chance of rain at 7 in the morning, but a 40% chance at noon, and only a slight chance as we get in the later afternoon and evening hours. 88 will be the high tomorrow. The overall rain chance 40%, but I think the better probability for the scattered rain and storms will come in the early part of the day, and mainly mainly around and just before noon. As we get to Monday, 40% chance of showers and storms back in the mix again, a high of 85. We're at 89 Tuesday, 90 Wednesday. Slight chance of an afternoon pop-up, some scattered showers and storms Thursday, and then summer begins at 9:41 p.m. Friday evening. But that day is going to be hot, 92 the high, and it's likely going to feel like around 100 to 105. And we can expect that again on Saturday, the first full day of summer. Kelly, a high of 92 to end the week and start the weekend. The heat and humidity, they are coming back.
It's back. All right, thank you so much. Stick around. We've got sports coming up right after this.
The GMC Sports Desk is sponsored by GMC. We are professional grade.
What's up? What's happening? Welcome in. It may not feel like anything close to basketball season right now, but both the Memphis men's and women's squads are in the middle of getting their summer work in. The Lady Tigers held their first team practice earlier this week with lots of new faces and heightened expectations. Before the 2025-26 Memphis women's basketball team hit the court for their first official practice Thursday, the squad group chat had already been established, with a name reflecting their goals for the upcoming season.
Their group chat for me and them is confetti chasing, and that's what we're wanting to do every single day. Obviously, confetti means what? A championship, and that's the only way you get it is if you win a championship. So I think their mindset is where it needs to be.
The Tigers are coming off an injury-riddled 7-23 season and will hit the reset button with 10 newcomers on the roster, 8 coming via the transfer portal, the other 2 freshmen. They all have different reasons for choosing Memphis.
Because they were supportive throughout my whole process of my grandma passing recently in April, and they were there throughout the whole thing, and a lot of people in my recruitment process knew about it and didn't show as much effort as Memphis did.
It feels great. I always wanted to do that coming out of college, never got the opportunity, and the opportunity presented itself while I was in the portal, so I'm glad to be home.
Honestly, who's seen me more than just a player? And that was Coach Alex.
Simmons, entering her third year at the helm, is still looking for her first winning season in the 901. With that in mind, she was very selective in how she put this roster together.
You know, if I'm being honest, my priority was making sure that we're bringing players that were locked into me as a head coach and to what my goals were for this program. The main thing was, and we probably got screwed on a couple of kids because of us being so specific in the type of people that we want in our program, but I think the 12 that we have are the right ones.
The biggest mentality shift the head coach is impressing on her team, simply meeting the standard is not enough.
This year, it's all about going and striving for perfection. I think we use as a crutch. You know, nobody's perfect. I think that's a crutch. At the end of the day, we all have to try to be perfect.
I like that. It's kind of a bar right there that we use it as a crutch.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect. You got to strive for perfection, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what we all do every time we sit on this desk.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time. All right. Thank you so much for joining us here on Action News 5 at 6 o'clock. We're back tonight at 10. We'll see you then.
Take the First Alert Weather Team wherever you go. Live radar, hour-by-hour forecasts, everything you need to help plan your day. Download the free First Alert Weather app today.